It's Jeff and Wilma here at Budroom, and this afternoon I just want to ask you to check out the. We made a dozen baguettes, and we've eaten 3/4 of one already.
Yeah, we had that for lunch.
And the smell in the house is absolutely beautiful. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'll show you how we go about making these. Pildish we made last night. So in this case I used 750 grams of flour and 750 mils of water and also 1/4 teaspoon of instant dry yeast. If you zoom in on there, Wilma, you can see it actually bubbling beautifully. So that was at room temperature, just left it covered overnight. So what I'm going to do now, I've done some sums. So the total amount of flour is 2.25 kilos. So we're going for a 65% hydration, so you multiply it by 65. That comes to 1.46 litres of water. So we already have 750 mils of water in there, so that comes to, so we require another 710 mils of water. I'm putting 710 mils, so this is rainwater. Going to add 4 good teaspoons of Italian herbs. 2 cloves of crushed garlic. You don't want to overdo the garlic because that'll affect the yeast, I was told. 4 teaspoons of instant dry yeast. 4 teaspoons of good quality olive oil. To that I'm going to add my flour. So I'm using this Perfection baker's flour. That's the best flour I can get in this area, and it's a strong baker's flour. So I'm needing another 1.5 kilos of this strong baker's flour. So now I've got my 1.5 kilos of flour in there. I'm going to add 4.5 teaspoons of sea salt. I'm just going to spread that over the top. The idea now is to put your hand in there and use it like a mixing machine. So just mix it all up. So our grandson Daniel's here with us this morning, and being a good boy, aren't you, mate? Not making any noises while we're doing this. If you have a go, if you've got the time and you have a go at making this, these Italian baguettes, it's just going to fill your house with incredible aroma. And if you have any visitors at that particular time, they're going to comment about the beautiful smell they can smell coming up the driveway. Right, so now that I've mixed my dough, I'm going to use very little of this extra flour. I'm just going to use it to put a bit on my bench and use it to remove the dough off my hand. That's my get all that off. Okay, so we're going to pull our dough out of our bucket. And I'm going to use as little bit of this, as little extra flour as I can, just to knead this. So as you can see, it's still quite a loose dough, and I want to keep that hydration level up around that 65%. I'm going to knead this for about 10 or 12 minutes. So I'll start my kneading time now. Okay, so I just give my bucket a light spray with some cooking spray, and I've been kneading this dough for about 10 or 11 minutes, and it's getting a beautiful consistency. And I've added very little extra flour. As you can see, it's still quite loose, which is what you want for a baguette. What I'm going to do is put this into my bucket and cover it and in a warmish spot and let it double or even treble in size. So that might take about 2 or 3 hours. Right, you can see here our dough has certainly doubled or even trebled in size. With a little light dusting of flour, I'm going to a little bit on my workbench. Just going to turn it out and holy dooly, look at that. That's fantastic. And just going to do what they call a stretch and fold, and then that'll degas it. And oh jeez, Italian herbs give it a beautiful aroma. Just another stretch and fold. So what I'm going to, and then I'm going to, what they call scale. I'm going to scale out 6 baguettes at 280 grams each. That's a good size for us. And put the rest in the bucket to double in size again. And repeat that process after we're cooked, during the cooking process of the first 6 baguettes. So I'm just going to get my scale set. Right, with a little bit of flour, just going to just to pre-form these baguettes, and just pat them down a bit, and then just form them, and then once you form your baguettes, you just let them rest for about 15 minutes covered, and then we'll roll the baguettes after that. So we just pat it down, just do that. And just with your thumb under there, you just sort of bring it around like that, and seal it off. And then what you do is just get some Italian herb mix, put it on the table with some sesame seeds as well. And what you're going to do is just roll it out onto those herbs and the sesame seeds. Just sort of with your hands, just bring the ends to a point, and then just roll it out until you get the desired length. So this is the length that we require, because that's the right length for our oven and our baking tray. So that suits us. So your requirements might be a bit different. Now I've got my couch ready, lightly dusted with flour, and bring it up. In half an hour they'll proof, and then they're going to go into the oven. So we're preheating the oven to 230 degrees centigrade, and then we've got a thermometer in the oven, and as soon as it hits that temperature, we're going to put the first 3 in the oven. Right, with our oven preheated, and just going to move the baguettes onto my baking tray, and just do 3 at a time. It's been about 35 minutes since we rolled these out. So I have my razor sharp baguette knife, or what I use for a baguette scoring knife, and I'm just going to do some 3 nice scores along there, overlapping each one, and 1, and make sure they're cut through and they haven't healed over, otherwise it won't open up. So I'm going to put it in my preheated oven, and put them right at the back there, and set my timer for 5 minutes. And I'm just going to do a 180. Looking not too bad actually. And put them back in. Set the timer for another 5 minutes. At this point, I'm going to do a 90-degree turn. They're looking fantastic. And then reduce the heat down to about 180 centigrade. So I had it on 230. Now I'm down to 180, and for two more lots of 5 minutes. So it's time to do a 180.
Oh, they look beautiful, Jess.
Yep. In for another 5 minutes, and that's our final 5 minutes. So there.
Oh,
So what I'm going to do now is reset the oven back to the 230 again, and just take these off, put them on my cooling rack. And, I just want to point out that the smell in the house is absolutely unbelievable. Just an unbelievable smell in the house. So I just want to talk about this oven a little bit. Now this oven is the bottom of the range, fully imported oven from China. So you may have a top of the range oven, and you can still make good baguettes even with a top of the range oven, can't you? I think you can. So in this oven I've got a bread pan with some water in it and some rocks that generate steam in the oven, and I've got a thick paver on the bottom of the floor which holds the heat in the oven. So when you open the door, it's still going to hold some of the heat. And I've got a thermometer, only costs $6. So that's very important to have a thermometer in your oven, and then you know when your oven's preheated. So I'm just going to close the door and hold the heat. So and I've got my little egg timer there, and so cool down. I'm going to bag them up and put them straight in the freezer, and then when we thaw them out and start using them, it'll be just like they come out the oven. The whole thing costs less than about $3. So yeah, very inexpensive to make this absolutely beautiful bread. So I'm going to just cut one of these and with my electric knife. There was a tip I got off a baker. If you've got fresh bread, use an electric knife to cut it. So just going to, that's the crumb, beautiful open crumb. I'm just going to pop them in the toaster. Got my baguette nicely toasted with some of my berry combo jam, topped with a nice bit of our homegrown banana. And you've got that other bit there, haven't you, Wilma?
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you what it tastes like because I had some for lunch and it was absolutely beautiful. So, Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Happy baking. All the best. Bye.